Howdy everyone, this is your buddy BP, and I'm here today to review the Jade Rabbit. The Jade Rabbit is an exotic scout rifle that was introduced to Destiny in the Taken King expansion pack. Even though it's a relatively new weapon to the Destiny universe, it has a unique history that dates all the way back to Destiny's early days. As a weapon, the Jade Rabbit is a bit of an acquired taste, but for PvE at least, it's certainly a taste that I believe that is worth acquiring. The question remains, however, is the Jade Rabbit right for you? Let's take a closer look at the Jade Rabbit. The Jade Rabbit's base stats are a little unusual. The range and impact is very impressive, but the stability is painfully low. In fact, it's probably the lowest stability of any scout rifle in the game. It also has a very small magazine size of 7. There are ways to mitigate this problem, but it's still a pain in the neck to have to deal with. The weapon's exotic perk is the Fate of All Fools, which is actually 2 perks in one. First, when you chain body shots, you gain bonus damage on your next precision shot. Also, when you land that precision hit, the weapon will return ammo to the magazine. The increased precision damage is nice, but you're not going to see it come into play that much in PvE. In PvP, you may see this come into use if you're going up against a Guardian with something like Force Barrier or Flame Shield on, or if they have like very low armor, but for most situations, the increased precision damage isn't going to come into play very much. Where it really shines is where it returns ammo to the magazine. This is especially useful in PvE when you're going up against tier 2 enemies and bosses. If you line up your shots right, you can continuously lay damage on large tier 2 enemies and never have to worry about reloading because you'll just keep returning ammo directly to the magazine. This is really good when going up against bosses like Ballista Auric. I was surprised by how long I could keep firing the weapon without ever having to reload, and by the time I did get around to reloading, I was amazed by how much damage I had whittled off of the boss. The weapon's high impact allows you to deal a tremendous amount of damage to bosses over time, and not having to reload will increase the amount of damage you can deal in that period of time. If you're looking for a high damage weapon that you can run in your primary slot that's really good against bosses, this may be what you're looking for. Another interesting little tidbit about the Fate of All Fools is that it used to be its own exotic weapon. Way back when Destiny first came out, players data mined the game disc and discovered that there was a hidden exotic that wasn't made available in the game yet called Fate of All Fools. And Bungie teased players for a long time over whether or not they were going to release it. An entire year went by and no one ever saw or heard from this weapon. The only exception was one player who had the weapon gifted to them by the Bungie team. A very interesting story goes along with it. I'll leave a link in the description for anyone who's curious about it. It wasn't until year 2 when Bungie announced that they were going to introduce the Jade Rabbit into the game. Oh, and that old weapon model that they originally used for the Fate of All Fools? It's now being used on the No Time to Explain. So if you're really interested in that weapon model, you can always go and use the No Time to Explain. The Jade Rabbit's first set of optional perks include Soft Ballistics, CQB Ballistics, and Smart Drift Control. Personally, I prefer Smart Drift Control. This weapon kicks really hard, so you should do whatever you can to mitigate this weapon's recoil. Don't worry too much about the loss in range. The Jade Rabbit has unusually high range for a weapon of its class, so you're very rarely going to notice any damage drop off. The Jade Rabbit's next perk is Spray and Play, which increases the reload speed of the weapon when the magazine is empty. Like I said, the Jade Rabbit has a very small magazine. Even though its exotic perk will return ammo to the magazine from time to time, eventually you're going to have to reload. Whenever you find yourself in an intense moment when you finally run out of ammo in the mag, it will be nice to have this perk come into play to help you get back into the fight quicker. The next set of optional perks include Extended Mag, Speed Reload, and Custom Optics. Right off the bat, I'm going to say ignore Speed Reload. The base reload speed on this weapon is fine, plus you have Spray and Play and Fate of All Fools resupplying ammo to the magazine, so having this on top of that is just overkill. So just go ahead and ignore Speed Reload. As far as Custom Optics is concerned, it's the kind of thing I would normally recommend on a weapon like this for PvE, if it weren't for the fact that the magazine size is so low. 7 shots is extremely low for a scout rifle, and you really need all the help you can get. Those 4 extra shots that you are going to get from extended mag are going to make the difference. So for about 99% of all situations, I say extended mag is what you're going to need to go with. The weapon's final perk is Zen Moment. Causing damage with this weapon will increase its stability. As I said before, the Jade Rabbit has extremely low stability. Zen Moment will provide a noticeable increase to stability, but the recoil will still be very strong for this weapon. I would recommend playing as a gunslinger if you're going to use the Jade Rabbit. That way you can use the Gunslinger's Trance perk to mitigate the recoil. In PvE, the Jade Rabbit is deadly against enemies of all sizes. Its high impact enables it to potentially one-shot many Tier 1 enemies to the head, and its stacking damage and returning ammo mechanic enables it to make short work of tough Tier 2 enemies. Against bosses, I was surprised as to how long I was able to fire this weapon without having to reload, and when I did need to stop to reload, I couldn't help but notice just how much damage it was able to deal in a short period of time. Its damage over time isn't exactly Black Spindle impressive, but for a primary weapon I was amazed as to how well it functioned at long ranges. In PvP, the Jade Rabbit is fine, but it won't fit everyone's playstyle. The strong recoil can make landing consecutive precision hits a pain, and its low magazine size may lead to you having to reload during inopportune moments. Still, if you can manage these issues, you will discover that the Jade Rabbit is surprisingly lethal as a long-range weapon. It can easily 3-shot a Guardian using precision hits, and refunding shots will keep you from having to constantly reload after firefights. Note that the Jade Rabbit is best used for engaging opponents from a distance, so if you're going to run it, make sure you have either a shotgun or a sidearm in your secondary weapon slot to cover you from close-range attacks. Aesthetically, the Jade Rabbit is very distinctive. Other players will take notice of its sharp, geometric design, and its unique black and teal color scheme gives it some additional character. It even has the Jade Rabbit logo near the stock, just above where the magazine is loaded. The weapon's sights are a bit on the narrow side, but it does have the added bonus of highlighting enemies, making it easier for you to spot Guardians from a distance. I also enjoy the firing sound, which has a very distinctive zap noise to it. Before I end this review, I should probably mention one thing about the Jade Rabbit that I strongly dislike, and that is the fact that it is currently a PlayStation exclusive. Being a PlayStation Guardian, I was able to access this weapon through decrypting an exotic engram, but the knowledge that Xbox Guardians are likely going to have to wait until September before they can get their hands on this unique weapon is rather sad. Let's summarize everything we've discussed here. The Jade Rabbit is a powerful and accurate weapon capable of dealing devastating amounts of damage to mobs and bosses alike. Its stacking damage will help in making sure that final shot puts your opponent down, and being refunded ammo for precision hits will keep you in the fight longer. Coupled with its distinctive aesthetics, the Jade Rabbit is an ideal exotic scout rifle for those looking for a powerful, long-range primary weapon. The Jade Rabbit is not perfect, however. Its intense recoil can make landing consecutive shots difficult, even with Zen Moment taken into account, and its low magazine size can lead to frequent reloads. Furthermore, this weapon being a PlayStation exclusive means that it's currently accessible to only half of the Destiny community. Sorry, Xbox Guardians. And that just about does it for my review of the Jade Rabbit. What are your opinions on the Jade Rabbit? Do you think it's a great weapon? Do you think it's a hunk of junk? Let me know in the comments section. I love hearing back from you. And don't forget to spank that like button if you enjoyed the review or you found it helpful in any way. Your support means a lot to me. And as always, y'all be good to each other, and I will see you in the next video. Note that the Jade Rabbit is best used for... What the fuck, Windows 10? No, I do not want to upgrade. Get this shit out of my face. Okay. There we go.